Hey friends, I'm Hannah. I'm a registered dietitian, and today I want to talk to you about planning meals. Planning meals is so important to actually implement these healthy diet choices that we have been talking about. So, I have 5 easy steps for you to start implementing this information in your life to also make it easier on you. I am not somebody that wants to cook and clean every night. So making sure that we use recipes, double the recipes, making sure that our food and recipes fits not only our health preferences and needs, but also our busy lifestyles and budget as well. So step number one is going to be to review your schedule. Step number two, we're going to find recipes. Step number three, make the grocery list. Step number four, grocery shop. And then step number five, we're going to cut and prep for the week. So let's talk about step number one, reviewing your schedule. This is so important. I want you to take a minute to really write out what you have going on through the week. So if you have a sports practice, or if you have dinner with a friend scheduled, or maybe you have church, or you have a workout class, maybe you're working late and have a meeting. Maybe you have an appointment. So many things going on in our lives. And so writing this out to see what does our week look like can be really helpful so that we can plan our meals to fit that schedule. Okay, so you can see on the bottom here, these little squiggly arrows, it's kind of just brainstorming, right? So maybe on Sunday, we're going to meal prep our lunches for the week. And then we know Monday we have soccer practice. So we're going to need something really easy or maybe some leftovers for that night. Wednesday, we have dinner at church. So we don't need dinner that night. And Thursday, we have spin class in the evening. So don't really want to cook that night because I'm not going to have as much time. So having leftovers on Thursday would be really helpful. And then Friday, we're going out to eat. So we don't have to think about that for dinner. So just kind of mapping out your week, or you could do this 2 weeks at a time. I know some people enjoy doing that, which is payroll. It's helpful. So whatever works for you, but really taking the time to think about what you have going on and thinking about the meals that would be helpful for you to make it not stressful and not like, hey, I'm going to run by a fast food restaurant on the way because I don't have time. So this is kind of what that looks like. So maybe Sunday, we're meal prepping lunches and doubling the dinner. Monday, we're going to have leftovers. Tuesday, we're going to make a crock pot meal. Wednesday, we have that dinner at church. So Thursday, we're having the leftovers from Tuesday. And so if you have a big family, you may need to double your recipe. So make sure you pay attention to that as well. And then Friday, we have dinner out. And then Saturday, we're going to have a family breakfast and cook dinner as well. So once you kind of know what kind of recipes you need, so we know we needed a crock pot recipe, we need one that we can double to have leftovers, then you go find your recipes. So there's so many ways, so many places we can find our recipes, whether that's in our cookbooks or magazines, like we can go old school and pull those out. The American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, National Kidney Foundation, if you have a chronic condition, can be really helpful. They have lots of recipes as well. We know that social media has tons of recipes. You could do meal kit deliveries. So I know some people get really stressed out and trying to find the recipe or getting the grocery shopping done. And so those meal kit deliveries can be helpful. And a lot of times you can filter them for different health conditions as well. Different apps. I know that Best Health has a Pinterest, and then our nHealth app also has some recipes. Maybe you find some recipes from your friends and family. Look through your pantry, see what you already have. Start making a recipe out of things that you already have. Maybe looking at what produce is in season already, and trying to utilize those foods that are really yummy because they are, it's the time of year that they are being made. And maybe you have your own recipe list, and this is something great to create. So if you really like, if your family really likes some recipes, start making a list, whether that's in a binder, in your phone. There's apps that will keep all your recipes as well, so that when you do come to this planning point where you need a recipe, you could just pull up your list and not necessarily have to go searching for a new one. So we made our schedule, found our recipes, then we create our grocery list. So that's step number 3. This is important because we need to buy the ingredients for our meals. So things to think about: do I need to increase or decrease the serving size in the recipe so you make sure you get enough? What ingredients do I already have on hand? Especially, if we're trying to be budget friendly or not wasteful, go ahead and look through the pantry once you make your grocery list and see what you already have. Where do I want to buy this ingredient? I know some things that my family will buy at, a big store like a Costco or Sam's. Some things we'll get at Aldi, some things we get at Kroger. So if you like to go to different places to get different things, making sure you kind of have different lists for different stores. And then make a list for the layout of the grocery store. This is like one of my favorites. Nobody wants to be running across back and forth the grocery store looking for the ingredients. So this is kind of a template here on the right of the grocery store. So most of the time, you're going to start and there's the produce section, then you have the meat, poultry, fish, you have pantry staples in the middle, and you have dairy and frozen kind of at the end. So if you kind of follow this template, it'll help just save time trying to get through the grocery store and not having to run back and forth to get something else. Okay, so once we've made the grocery list, we have to go grocery shopping. So this one, I know a lot of people have a hard time with. Like, they don't get to the grocery store, and that's why we're running to get something or just eating whatever we have on hand. So maybe choosing a day of the week that works best for you to get to the grocery store. Sometimes that can be helpful too in knowing that, okay, Friday is my grocery day. That means I need to have my grocery list ready by Friday. So it kind of gives you that timeline to plan the meals out and the recipes out and get that grocery list ready. And then if you have like family members that are helping you plan the meals, pick recipes, they can also be on board and know that Friday's the due date. So thinking about too, like, which store are you going to? Are you going to go in the store and get your groceries? Are you going to do a pickup or a delivery? I know some people do those all the time. Some people like to do them in different seasons or different busy weeks. I know for me, when we go out of town, sometimes doing that pickup can be really helpful if we've got a busy week going on too. So just thinking about that, and then whenever you do order online or you go through the store, make sure you're coming prepared, bringing that list. For me, I like to use a note in my phone. I actually share it with my husband. And so we add to the grocery list and then we add these little dots where we can check off what we've gotten. So we both can see that and it makes it really easy for us. We learned a lot about labels and how important they are for understanding like what's in our food and eating to nourish our bodies well. And so make some time to read those labels, especially if it's something new that you haven't bought before. Take some time to look at the label. And then, like, depending on where you're going to the store, how far you're driving, you want to bring a cooler and maybe some reusable bags as well. All right, so once you've got that grocery shopping done, you're going to come home and you can either just put it all up or you could maybe cut and prep a little bit for the week. So we definitely want to make sure we place the items in the correct spot in the refrigerator and pantry. You don't want to put it somewhere where it's just going to go bad, right? We're not trying to waste our money. So, potatoes in a dark, cool, dry place. And so thinking about those things like your fruits in the refrigerator, especially if they're ripe. So putting them where they really need to go. If you bought some fruits and vegetables, maybe for snacks or to go in addition with your breakfast or lunch or dinner, you could go ahead and wash and cut those so that they're ready to go, so that that's not a barrier to you eating them later on. Pre-portioning out the foods as well, if that is something that you are going to snack on throughout the week, or maybe you're prepping some ingredients for a meal, that can be a really good option. And then meal prepping recipes as well, if you want to go ahead and knock that out And then the last thing I would say is putting things where you can see them. So especially if you bought maybe some fresh fruits and vegetables and you want to make sure you eat them, put them in the refrigerator or the pantry where you can actually see them so that you'll gravitate towards those instead of something else, right? So let's recap those 5 steps one more time. We're going to review our schedule, see what we have going on throughout the week so that we can find recipes that fit that schedule. So step number 2 is taking the time to find those recipes. And then once you pick them, you make the grocery list. After making that grocery list in the order of the grocery store, go ahead and get that grocery shopping done. And then once you bring it in, maybe go ahead and take some time to cut and prep some of those foods. Make sure you put it in a place that you can see those foods. So 5 pretty simple steps. If you're a little overwhelmed by this, just start with one meal for the week. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe you just start with dinners, or maybe you just pick 2 dinners for the week. Just start small and add on to that. So don't forget that this is going to help you hopefully save money, plan a little bit so that you're not adding stress to your life, and also be able to nourish your body well and implement some of the strategies we've talked about for eating to support our body. And then on the other side of that, it also allows you a little more time for yourself, whether that is doing more chores that you need to get done that are on that to-do list. Maybe you're trying to add in some exercise. So if you want to exercise, you have leftovers that night or have a crock pot so that you have more time to do those types of things. So this is going to be helpful not only for your food, but also can be helpful for adding that stress or adding that exercise in or trying to remove some of the stress. So overall supporting you. So hope that you can take this information today and start implementing it as soon as possible and get the family involved so it's not only you having to do it by yourself. Thanks for watching.